I'm Pedro Urruchurtu. I'm from Caracas, Venezuela. I live in Venezuela. I'm the coordinator of international affairs of Vente, Venezuela, which is the liberal party of our country. And I am also bureau member of the Liberal Network of Latin America, RELIAL.
The liberalism is facing a big opportunity, I think, because after living under socialism and communism for the last 20 years, finally people understood the importance of freedom. And of course, this is a huge opportunity in order to have a political project based on liberalism. And that is what we are doing in Vente. We want to implement the first liberal project, a political project in the country. And definitely people today appreciate even more freedom because unfortunately we took it for granted in the past. And at the end, people understood that freedom is an everyday task. You need to take care of it every single day. And definitely I think there is a huge opportunity to do this. So despite the situation of human rights, the violation of human rights, the crimes against humanity that the regime is facing, even the humanitarian crisis that we are living, and even having the biggest refugee crisis in the world with more than 8 million people that have left the country as a consequence of a misery model as the socialism is. Today people finally understood the importance of freedom, the idea to keep fighting for freedom, but most important, to regain freedom in order to implement it as a way of life, as a way of development. And that's our commitment as a party, as a movement, but also as a society. We are a 10 years party. We are quite like new party. We arrived to 10 years of existence this year. We have been focused in many topics, but of course liberalism as a main framework, but also we always talk about dignity, human dignity, about justice, and about the importance of opportunities for everyone. This is really, really important in this moment of the country. We have invested many resources on training people, young people, because we believe that one of the main tasks and challenges that we have is to make people believe in freedom but defend freedom in a daily basis. So we do this. We train many young people every single year. We have many leaders in all the country. We have presence in all the states, the 24 states of the country, but also we have presence in the diaspora with Venezuelans abroad, because as I explained, when you have 8 million people abroad, 25% of the population approximately, you also need to have structures abroad. So that's what we do with the Vente Mundo, that is the main framework of Venezuelans Vente affiliates abroad. So yes, we have national presence, international presence. At the same time, we are members, for example, for Liberal International. We are members of the Liberal Network of Latin America. So we are members and part of the liberal family worldwide, which is really important. So yes, we promote these values. We train people on these values, and we are part of a family of organizations worldwide that defends these values. So for us, it has been really important to be part of the liberal movement around the world, and we expect and we are looking in order to keep doing this amazing job for freedom and for liberty. Well, I think this is important questions, not only for us as Venezuelans, but as Latin Americans, because when you see what's going on in Latin America in general, and you compare, for example, systems, political systems, and you see that, well, with parliamentary systems, the importance of consensus and agreements between different ideas and political forces is huge and important. In our case, in Latin America, it's not the case because we are more presidential in that way. We have presidential systems. And sometimes, I have to say, always this is a big problem. So that's the main lesson. I mean, the importance of consensus, of agreements, and definitely to think about the political systems in order to be more effective in that way. And of course, the European Union and Brussels as a political capital city in terms of what Europe means for for Europe itself, but for the world, in terms of institutions, in terms of integration, in terms of commerce, of course, and trade, but at the same time in the idea of human rights, democracies, and how you can work together, how you can work with other people that defend democracy, that defend these values. And the idea that commerce, trade, freedom is more effective than war, than authoritarianism and tyrannies. And I think that's the biggest lesson that Europe learned about after the war, the two world wars, to understand the importance of looking for peace. But this peace is based on freedom and justice and human rights and democracy and trade, free trade. So yes, it's like the victory of peace against war, because it's based in liberalism. And I think when you think Europe, you think in liberalism as a big concept and a big view of the world. So I think this is important for us to be here, because we need to strengthen the ties between Latin America and Europe. We need to learn even more about the dynamic here, but at the same time to have the opportunity to speak with people, decision makers, policy makers, political actors, NGOs, and of course Naumann Foundation, that has been a important and key actor supporting us in Latin America. I think it's needed even more than ever, because in a world context as Europe is living, that it's not only an European war but a global war in many fields. I think that we need to work even more together, and this is a huge opportunity. So thank you, because it's really important for us.